You were stating that by using machine learning algorithms, we are leaving the world of absolute numbers and entering the world of probabilities. What did you mean by that?
So the interesting point or aspect in machine learning is that before, or maybe in the old world, we're very used to work with absolute numbers. And this implies that we kind of accept the machine's answer as a it is concept. So if it says 5 or yes or no or category A, then we believe that and we take this for granted. But machine learning works different. With the returning value is not A, but it's with probability 50% it's A, but maybe with probability 40 it's B and 10% is C. So we need a different notion of how to handle this and how to work with that.
So basically you're saying that we shouldn't take the answer from machines as an absolute and we should use our common sense to reevaluate it?
Yes, but it's for sure a core thing to not take a machine answer as absolutely perfect and indiscussible. So we need to switch on our brains and not take everything for granted, but rather think of how this can be put together and whether this makes sense like that.
But when we are using machines or artificial intelligence, maybe in the future we will have more free time. What would you do with your free time if you had some machine to do your work? How would you use it?
Well, there are many ideas on the list. I love to travel and to explore new places. And this is always, as I feel, best done with time. And I'm a very passionate dancer, so spending more time on traveling and dancing, that would be something very close to my heart, yes.
Is there any difference between machine learning algorithm and artificial intelligence, or are these synonyms?
This question is actually coming up so often. I personally think, as long as we're talking about real projects, in the end it's about machines learning rules based on some data we provide on an infrastructure we tell them to use. So I personally prefer machine learning. Artificial intelligence as a really superior intelligence mimicking humans concept. It's really a thing of general artificial intelligence, so to say. I feel like we're far away from that. There are some people claiming that you could also cut and separate it in deep learning concepts, being more like artificial intelligence, and maybe more classical concepts as machine learning. I would also be fine with that. In the end, it's important for me that we talk about the same things with the same language. So I always ask back, and then we find each other somewhere on the way.
Maybe could you tell us a little bit more about your session? What were you doing? You had a lot of participants there. What were you talking about? What were you discussing?
So in my session today, it was about the notion that machine learning is often a bit seen as a kind of magic process, unicorns working on it, maybe even. And I really think personally, and that was also the core thing of my session today, we discussed on the negative impact this may have on projects, because for a responsible project we need to have a way to deal with the uncertainty that arises with those kind of complex settings as we are given in machine learning. So we also need a realistic language to talk about it, and I see it as a challenge, but also as a duty of the data scientists and the data science community to explain and to also to engage people which are not core experts in the fields in a discussion such that everyone gets a notion of what it is about, and a more realistic notion especially. There's no magic involved, and we had great discussions about also the difference of artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's always a question. And the other thing is really, not setting up magic spells means that we actually go there, we have our tools to work on data, there is input, there will be an output. We are supposed to know what's happening in between. So it's challenging and sometimes confusing, but quite a few complex scenarios or settings in computer science or math are actually yeah, maybe a bit intimidating, and we should tear down those walls and make it more accessible to people.
Why do you think events like Ada Lovelace conference are important for women in technology? What difference can it make?
I personally like events like Ada Lovelace, this conference here, because it creates a great space of opportunities to talk about relevant questions in tech and also what it means for society and how we want to participate in that and how we want to shape that. And I think in all settings this is a great place to be and to learn and engage and discuss with each other.